Kwaba. Welcome to this video about a volunteer stint I did in Ghana in 2018 with the Farmer to Farmer program. The Farmer to Farmer F2F budget is jointly administered overseas by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, and, in this case for Ghana, by the International Executive Service Corps, IESC, which is a non-government organization responsible for the well-being and orientation of volunteers and to link them with host agency personnel and client groups. Just to set the stage a bit, if you think of the silhouette of Africa as looking somewhat like a human skull, Ghana sits just about where the spine would enter the skull. And I was to work with 3 grower groups, one in the town of Bagro, and the other 2 in outlier communities. The first of which was called Dedesu, and the other being Amakrom, both of which are situated in the Fantiakwa district in the eastern region of Ghana. The area was fairly typical of rural Ghana, and I go into the details of my volunteer experience in a separate video, to which I will place a link at the end of this video. Let it suffice here to say that I developed a series of lesson modules on integrated pest management to be delivered by host agency personnel of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. Integrated pest management, or IPM, is a multidisciplinary approach to controlling organisms that can damage cultivated crops. One of the key components of IPM is the monitoring of key pests in the crop system with which one is working. Dr. Maxwell Vila, an extension entomologist at the University of Ghana in Legon, gave me an orientation to the construction of an appropriate technology trap for fruit flies that attack mangoes. The trap can be used for both the monitoring and control of fruit flies, and I thought his demonstration was worthy of its own standalone video. So we're here with Dr. Maxwell Vila in Legon, and he's going to be sharing with us some of his expertise in the attraction of fruit flies using an appropriate technology trap made from water bottles and using pheromones.
We make 2 windows, good enough to allow the fly come in. Second window. Now you have your 2 windows.
So in this case you'll be using a chemical called methyl eugenol, or is this another of the pheromones that you'll be...
Yeah, I have all 4 types of pheromone here.
Mm-hmm.
The methyl eugenol, terpinyl acetate, trimethyl and kilo. These are the 4 that will take the range of fruit flies we have in Ghana.
So methyl eugenol is that which attracts the Bactrocera dorsalis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then terpinyl acetate, trimethyl will take the Ceratitis species.
Ceratitis, okay, so
yeah.
So like medfly.
Yeah, the indigenous African species.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Kilo will now take the Dacus species. They are more closely related to the Bactrocera species.
Mm-hmm.
That we are covering a wider range of them. When done that, we need to small hole in the middle of the...
So you were saying earlier that your recommendation is to trap using different traps with a different pheromone in each of the traps,
mm-hmm.
in order to capture flies across the range of species.
Exactly.
So that you don't just reduce one species and allow an ecological niche for for others to flourish.
You create a vacuum and then somebody comes to occupy it on a silver platter. You need to fight to get it.
So what density of traps do you suggest be used with with each of the different pheromones?
For monitoring, usually 5 traps.
So one trap with each of the different pheromones, or?
Yeah, it's enough.
Okay.
It's enough. Yeah. 5
per hectare.
Per hectare. Just put 1, 2, 3, 4, then maybe one in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, for monitoring. But depending on levels and then purpose, it can change from monitoring to suppression. When it comes to suppression, then I can increase the number of traps.
So tell me what you mean by separation.
Suppression, you want to suppress the population.
Oh, suppression. Suppression.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's when you can increase the number of traps.
And are there recommendations at this point, or
that can go to 10 traps. 10 traps
per hectare.
Per hectare.
Okay.
Others even go beyond that. Those who target the export market.
Right.
At times they go beyond that.
Yeah. And the
period.
Yeah. And the recommendation for monitoring is to begin in the flowering period, correct?
Yes. Immediately after flowering.
Middle of the flowering.
Immediately after the flowering fruit set.
Yeah, okay.
That is when the flies begin to come in.
Right.
Yeah. So you must pick them early enough. One of the things that has always caused farmers is that they always wait till the fruits are big enough, and they think that is when they should set the traps.
Right.
By which time the flies would have taken the lead.
Right.
They would have laid.
Yeah.
So we are always telling them, immediately after flowering, fruit set, as small as this, you get them.
And we're talking about fruit set in mango.
See one of the flies, it's already here. Yeah.
And so we're talking about fruit set in mango because that will occur prior to, say, some of the perennial, the flowering of the perennial vegetable crops, or annuals rather, or perennial for that matter.
So this for the wire that you need. And you can cut a small, make small, what you say, just for drainage, in case it rains and you don't have your stuff.
So why would you not want to put the? If I were doing this, my instinct would be to put the hole up here so that it would actually retain a bit of water. In order that any flies that drop down would drown in the water.
Yeah, that is another type of trapping.
So just an alternative way of doing it. Yeah. Okay.
Well, what happens is that that's what we call the liquid baits. The liquid baits, they don't have killing agents.
Right.
You just go in, you eat, and you drown.
Yeah.
But usually that one you have to be very quick at removing them. Then you have to do them more frequently. Because the possibility of getting rotten, contamination, and so many things.
So you're saying that if we were to put the holes up higher, the drainage holes up higher, that it would fill up with dead flies, and then the dead flies would act as a repellent to other flies coming?
No, if we put a hose up here, I mean.
So yeah, not the entrance holes. They begin to rot. Right. Okay. And that acts as a repellent to other flies, does it?
I don't know what it is, but.
Well, we may try it just to see what happens.
Sure. So that you can get that aspect too. But usually it is rain, when there's so much rain.
Yeah, you need some type of drainage so it doesn't fill up. Right.
Getting the attractant soaked.
Right. Then it'll exactly
if it's soaked, then it can no longer go out.
Sure.
As fast as we want it.
Yeah.
So that's why we do it this way. Then you have this yours. I don't have any extra wires here. Without it. No extra highest for me to show you the. So you can have different types of. These are some of the imported type of traps. That you would have seen them. But the cost.
Pheromone. So you were saying the Bactrocera dorsalis is out competing the Ceratatis coursera, the what used to be called the mango fruit fly.
The mango fruit fly.
And now
with the arrival of Bactrocera dorsalis. Yeah. Because if you go to the aboriginal home of dorsalis, that is one of its main preferred host crops. And then it comes here to find that there's a new species that dominates in mango. But because it is a preferred host crop, it has gradually gone to mango and displaced
the indigenous species.
Interesting. Yeah. So now our headache is, where is the indigenous species going to? So that is what we need to bear in mind. Any time we are working, we need to we need to take into consideration where we are getting what, from what crop we are getting which species. Because it could tell us where the other displaced one has gone to. We should be looking out for it.
And so the native home of Bactrocera dorsalis is India, is it?
Yeah,
or
Southeast Asia.
Southeast Asia.
Yeah, India, Sri Lanka, all these places. It's a very dominant one.
And how is it thought that it was imported into Africa? It's a movement of produce of some kind, but no one's quite sure.
We have no idea. All we noticed is it had arrived. And even with its arrival in Africa, it was first detected in Nairobi, Kenya. You know, they have this African fruit fly program that does routine monitoring and work on fruit flies. So I was with them for some time. That was where I was actually. So routinely we go out in the field, they bring flies, and I do the identification. So it was during the course of the routine work that I detected Bactrocera dorsalis. So I was the first to have reported it.
Wow. Interesting.
Gradually from Kenya,
it worked its way across the continent.
Now it is across the length and breadth of Africa.
You should have stopped it in its tracks in Kenya. What were you thinking?
So in 2005, 2004, 2005, I came home to see if there was any here. Set up a few traps. Wow. And I found them.
Found them, yeah.
So I quickly reported to the PPRSD that we have a new invasive pest. We better watch it. And that time it was restricted to the Volta region, Greater and Eastern.
You sure you didn't bring them with you just so that you could have some work to do here at home?
So when I reported, they were so excited about it, but they didn't have
the wherewithal, the resources.
That speed
to
take off.
Yeah, sure.
And they waited and waited and waited.
Yeah.
So by the time they were ready, it was all over. Because for invasive species, there are three things you should do. When you find them, get rid of them.
Yeah, you have to monitor where they are.
If you can't contain them in the region, and they fail the two.
Yeah.
So now they spread all over.
Yeah, when I get home, I'm gonna have to be dealing with a permit for the control of gypsy moth. Similar dynamic, except
So once they get out of that, those two opportunities, you miss them, then now they become spread all over, established. So you only have the last option to learn how to live with them, and that is what we are doing. So now we have no choice. We have to learn how to live with them, and that is the management we are doing.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
If I did this right, related videos can be found by clicking on the links on the images of the videos. Thanks for watching.